What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So I want to bring you this update. I think this is huge. I think this is extremely important because we're now starting to get some details of the infrastructure package that's going to be that bipartisan group. Want to bring that update to you. Want to talk to you about the fourth stimulus check because a lot of people keep asking and are wondering, when are we going to see a fourth stimulus check, and can I provide them with an answer as to give them a date? And I just want to be 100% clear, so I'm going to address that towards the end of this video. And I also want to help out homeowners because I've been getting a handful of messages over the past couple of weeks from homeowners asking, hey, I know there's rental assistance, but is there anything for homeowners? Is there anything for help with somebody that is struggling, needs help with their mortgage or potentially maybe utilities? And there is help. There is additional assistance out there, and I'm going to bring that to you in this update as well. So first off, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys had an incredible weekend, but let's get into the update for today. First, here's what we know. Okay, doing my research just this past couple of hours for this afternoon, I actually ran across an interesting interview from Senator Republican Susan Collins. And I want to bring this to your attention because this is going to kind of break down how the next infrastructure package is going to be laid out. Plus, it's going to give us some insights as to what or how Republicans are currently thinking. So this is actually pretty good. First, I want to ask you a question, and it does pertain to what we are about to talk about. But let me ask you this question. How many of you own or have a hybrid car or an electric vehicle? Let me know down in the comment section below. You can also let me know what kind of hybrid car or electric vehicle it is as well. That would be greatly appreciated also. But I ask you this, for one, I'm curious, but this is what is actually being talked about as of this afternoon. So just, hot off the press just a few hours ago, this is what we know. According to recent reports, there are roughly 5.4 million electric or hybrid cars in the United States and roughly 1.5 million electric vehicles. Now, a lot of these people, a lot of these owners are going to be very upset because this is what the bipartisan group is discussing. The bipartisan infrastructure package at this time. Reports the other day, just even earlier today, were that this bipartisan infrastructure package was going to be using a gas tax in order to pay for it. However, Susan Collins says no, that is not the case, that people that have been driving cars that do take gas, they have been paying a gas tax all along. And that is not fair to require those individuals to continue to pay a higher tax to drive their cars on our roads and our bridges. Well, Susan Collins says that this bill, this bipartisan infrastructure package, will be partially paid for by a provision for electric vehicles to pay for their fair share of using our roads and bridges. So yes, people that have an electric vehicle that do not use gas, or a hybrid vehicle that uses less gas, they will actually be introducing a provision to make sure that people that own an electric vehicle will pay their fair share in taxes. It may not be at the pump. It may be when you go and get your tabs at the end of the year or whatever. That is when they will be paying this fair share in taxes. So one of the ways that this bipartisan group is looking at paying for this large infrastructure package is by taxing electric vehicle owners. So let me know, if you own an electric vehicle, does that make you a little bit upset? My guess is it does, but this is what Susan Collins says. She says that these have been free riders for years. So their plan is to make this fair. And one of the ways they're going to do that is by making sure electric vehicle owners will pay their fair share in taxes. Now, she went on to say that everybody needs to pay their fair share in taxes, but again, we know that Republicans will not be requiring billionaires and multimillionaires to pay an increased tax rate in order to help pay for this infrastructure package. So right there, I'm just curious, is this a one-way street? Is this just certain instances where Republicans are going to demand that the American people pay their fair share in taxes, but they're not going to demand big businesses and large corporations pay their fair share in taxes. I'm just curious how this is going to go. My guess is, okay, this is just a guess, this is just speculation. My guess is that we will see, okay, my expectation is, because this is something that is kind of new. I know electric vehicle owners don't really pay a lot in taxes as far as roads and bridges for infrastructure. However, I was not anticipating with all the credits, all the tax credits and EV spending that the Biden administration wants to do. I wasn't anticipating we were going to see all these credits, plus we're going to see this bipartisan group go after the EV owners to try to get some more taxes out of them. So this is really interesting, but my expectation is this provision is going to stick, and this could actually be picked up in multiple other infrastructure packages as well. So this is something that we need to keep an eye on. But one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up, first off, it's going to be huge. This is huge for EV owners. This is huge for Tesla. This is huge for stock owners as well and options owners as well. But this is huge for the whole EV market. Now, one other reason why this is huge, because Republican Susan Collins says that this group needs to pay their fair share in taxes. They've been getting by as free riders for years. But does this mean, when it comes to being fair, does this mean that people that have been left out of the past stimulus packages will get an additional stimulus check? Does this mean people that didn't get their full unemployment benefits, are they going to still receive the retroactive pay? Are they going to start to see that? When they're talking about fair, does this mean people that have been struggling because they don't have enough food to eat, their rent hasn't been paid in months because they can't afford it, does this mean those people will have additional assistance? Does this mean people on Social Security are going to get that $200 per month boost that President Biden promised? Does this mean students and past students are going to receive some form of student debt forgiveness? Is this what we're talking about being fair, or is it just for this one instance? Now, I'm not trying to bash Republicans. I'm not trying to side with Democrats. I'm just asking the question, is this going to be fair? Is this entire package going to be fair? Because as of right now, as a parent, I would be getting a lot. I would be getting a lot of tax credits, the child tax credits. I'd be getting the child care credits as well. If taking my kids to child care, I could be getting all this stuff as a parent. But somebody that doesn't have kids, I have a bunch of friends that do not have kids, aren't even married. I have some friends that are a little bit older, are married, their kids have gone off to college. Is it fair for them because they're not going to get all these credits? But a parent, somebody with children between 0 and 17 or 18 actually, we could potentially get a boatload of money. Is that fair? Just curious. Let me know your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, talking about fair, let's get into the homeowner stimulus checks. Yes, these are actual stimulus checks that your homeowners association funds will be paid for, right? Here's what we know. If you are a homeowner and you're finding it difficult to pay for your mortgage, your utilities, things like that, previously, in the past year or so, there was nothing really for you other than mortgage forbearance. And if you didn't take that, then first off, you should have. I believe you might still be able to take mortgage forbearance. I'm not 100% sure on that. Okay, don't quote me on that, but you should look into it. Where you could potentially get a free mortgage. You don't have to pay it for so many months. Then you just tack on that monthly payment to the end of your loan. So it's essentially free money, or free living at this time. But here's something that I want to address. Right now, I get questions all the time. Hey, I don't rent my apartment. I actually own a home, but I can't keep up with the payments. Is there anything for me? And in the past, the answer was no. But the American Rescue Plan, the past stimulus package of $1.9 trillion, that actually included a provision that Congress is going to allow or pass $10 billion to go to people with a mortgage for mortgage assistance. Now, This will work for every single state. It doesn't matter. Every single state, U.S. territory, even Washington, D.C. will have money allocated to them. Some are, according to reports, are already doling out this money. So what you need to understand is every state will have at least $10 million that they can spend for mortgage assistance and utilities. What you need to keep in mind is this money is not automatic. This is not a stimulus check per se. This has, the same somewhat, kind of goal behind it. But Congress doesn't know, or your state doesn't know, or the IRS doesn't know that you need this money. So you actually have to go and apply for this. You actually have to go and apply for this mortgage assistance. So go to your state homeowners association and apply through the state, okay? Because the money's still there. Now, in order to qualify, okay, homeowners must hold a mortgage balance of less than $548,250. So if you have a mortgage balance of $600,000, you don't qualify, even if you're having financial hardships. If you have a mortgage balance of, let's say, $200,000, you qualify. But you have to then prove you have financial hardships as well. These financial hardships could be any type of financial loss. You lost your job. You have a decrease in hours. You have a decrease in pay, right? Your spouse lost their job, right? It's not going to factor in an increase in expenses. It's only going to factor in income at this point. So just keep that in mind. This is an additional stimulus to homeowners. And so if you do hold a mortgage, you do have a home, this could potentially be a big boost for you. I believe the one stipulation is you have to live in that home. It cannot be a rental. Okay, I believe that's a stipulation. Don't quote me on that. You can go and check your state's guidelines and requirements to see a little bit more. But if you have questions on that, please ask your questions down below and I will look into that for you. Now, let's get into the big question. This is something that I've been getting a lot of questions on over the past, even a few months, is are we gonna see a fourth stimulus check? We were getting questions on a fourth stimulus check before the third one was even approved. We were getting questions on a fourth stimulus check even before the third one was passed. Even before we started to receive the checks, we were getting questions on that. Well, here's what I can tell you. The honest answer when people ask me, hey, just give me a date when we're going to get our fourth stimulus check. Honestly, I wish I could. I honestly wish I could, but I can't. I'm telling you this because I am not a lawmaker. I'm not a congressman. I'm not a senator, right? I'm not the president. Even President Biden himself, if you were to ask him, hey, if we get a fourth stimulus check, what date is it going to come out? He couldn't answer that because he doesn't know. He doesn't know because it's up to Congress to first propose a fourth stimulus check, which some already have, but there's really no bills out there, and there's really nothing moving forward other than infrastructure at this time. So what I can tell you is, do I think we're going to get a fourth stimulus check? I think certain people will. Just be upfront, I think certain people will. The majority of America will be left out of this next package unless you are in the low income earner category. If you are a low income earner, and this could be somebody that's earning $20,000 to $40,000 per year, they would most likely receive a fourth stimulus check. Anybody that makes over that, chances are it's not likely, at least according to experts and according to multiple reports. Right now, Democrats, their plan is to get a bipartisan bill passed. That's great. But here's the issue. If it's bipartisan, Republicans, I can tell you right now, will not vote in support of a fourth stimulus check. Not at this time. They're not going to do it. And it's because a stimulus check just went out. No Republican at least, supported a $1,400 stimulus check. Even Josh Hawley, he was advocating for a $2,000 stimulus check. Well, when it came to voting, he didn't vote in favor of the stimulus package, the American Rescue Plan. He didn't vote in favor of it because of all the other legislation, not because of just the stimulus check. So what I can tell you right now is if Democrats go and pass a bipartisan bill with Republicans, then once they move forward with a budget reconciliation passing the social infrastructure aspect of the bill, then yes, experts do anticipate there is a very good chance we will see additional stimulus and one more stimulus check. My expectation is we will get one more stimulus check. It will go to the hardest hit individuals and the lowest income earners. After that fourth stimulus check, that one more check, I do believe the talks on additional stimulus checks would be done. I do believe that's what's going to happen based off of all the different research I've done, the different interviews that haven't conducted, but the interviews that I've watched, both CNN, Fox News, just private interviews. Just every single lawmaker tends to believe that we're not going to see a recurring stimulus check. If we see something, it will be a one-time payment. It will be the fourth stimulus check, most likely the last check. Now, we do have reports that potentially the Problem Solvers Caucus could come back and say, let's pass a fourth stimulus check, but let's also put in some automatic triggers where we could potentially see a fifth one if the economy just doesn't recover. So we'll see. But what I can tell you right now is President Biden is leaving it up to Congress. There are currently over 80 Democrats within Congress right now that have publicly signed on to support a fourth stimulus check. Many progressives are wanting recurring stimulus checks. The majority of those want a $2,000 per month stimulus check. Bernie Sanders would like to see a $2,000 one-time stimulus check, and then after that, $1,000 per month for 1 year. Multiple letters have been sent to President Biden over the past few months, even going back to January before President Biden even took office. There was a group of lawmakers that sent President Biden a letter saying that they urge him and his upcoming administration to include a recurring stimulus check. Well, we know multiple letters have gone out. President Biden has been very silent regarding stimulus checks. Economists believe that a fourth and final stimulus check could drastically reduce poverty here in the United States, and it would decrease homelessness and provide an even greater economic recovery. Right now, Democrats say that they need to be big, bold, and immediate when it comes to stimulus and any bills that pass, because they do understand there is a potential chance they could lose their majority in the House and the Senate within the next year. So they're taking very calculated risk at this point, at least according to many economists. Some say that right now there's more positive signs for a fourth stimulus check than negative signs, which is actually very good. The only issue right now is that Democrats, if they were to do a budget reconciliation, they need to get all 50 Democratic senators on board with not only additional stimulus checks, but the rest of the legislation that's in the bill. And that is where many experts say it's going to be a very hard sell. Even Nancy Pelosi said today this would be a tough sell to get the current package passed based off of the feedback she's receiving in the House. And the House is the easy sell. The Senate's going to be very difficult. So right now, all I can tell you is we're just going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait till negotiations get a little bit further along, and then we'll have a clear indication of whether or not we see a fourth stimulus check, recurring stimulus check, or any other stimulus as well. But what I can tell you right now is the talks right now are getting interesting. The stuff, this new update today from Susan Collins, talking about making sure that electric vehicle owners pay their fair share in taxes, that's huge. That is huge. And so as we know more, I promise I'll come back. I will fill you in all the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Again, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening. Have an incredible rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful week as well. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.